Warning, warning, warning. The mainstream media is jumping on the Bitcoin trampoline. Warning, warning, warning. And it's time for the morning cryptos. I don't know. I think that's a little too over the top. How's this? Warning. The mainstream media is jumping on the Bitcoin trampoline. I don't know. Anyway, let's just do the morning cryptos, okay? Hey everybody, it's the morning cryptos, and I'm feeling a little subdued today. Got a little thing going on with my schnozzles, but I managed to not look at much news yesterday. Let's see what's going on in the world of Bitcoin price. Let's see what's going on. 5891. Not bad. And this chart shows why Bitcoin can go higher than 6,000, and it's from Fortune. Okay, so that's interesting. Bitcoin is heading to 10,000, CNBC survey says. Bitcoin price lingers below 6,000 as post-fork altcoin rally expected. Interesting. Okay. I want to just see a chart, see why Bitcoin can go higher than 6,000. Here's the new record. Here's an argument for buying high. Oh, God. Interesting. If you thought you missed your chance to buy Bitcoin when the price broke $6,000 for the first time Friday, there's one argument that might convince you otherwise. It's not for the faint of heart, but with the Bitcoin price up more than 42% this month alone and up 20% from its low just 3 days ago, it's not for the faint of heart, but with Bitcoin price up more than 42% this month alone and up 20% from its low just 3 days ago, the cryptocurrency's returns have beaten just about everything available on the stock market, defying repeated warnings from the likes of JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon and former Fed Chair Ben Bernanke. As of midday Saturday, Bitcoin was trading at nearly 6,200. Now investors are fretting they'll miss out on the windfall of a lifetime if they wait any longer. All right. Historically, of course, legendary investors such as Warren Buffett have advised against buying assets when their price is high, arguing that the best way to make money is to buy low and ideally sell high. Yet a chart created by an influential analyst and investor illustrates why he predicts the Bitcoin price could go higher still and in fact may reach as high as 7,400 before its next significant dip. Okay, people, it's going to dip. Like, when has it not dipped? Look at this chart. Do you see the dip? High dip. You know? High dip. 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 Right. Anyway, technical analysis. The field of investing is somewhat controversial because buying decisions are based on the movement of a particular stock or other asset rather than on the fundamental valuation or future opportunity of the underlying company or security. While some investors reject this approach as trying to time the market a notoriously difficult task, there's evidence that it can sometimes pay off. For me, you got to combine technical analysis with fundamental analysis with your gut, right? The Bitcoin price, which largely trades on hype and abstract visions of its long-term potential, is not only exceptionally volatile, it tends to trade in an unusual undulating formation that enthusiasts have come to call waves, where a correction of as much as 30% is common between new highs. Yeah. Okay, he's talking about Fibonacci. Oh my God. Okay, people, read this article yourself. It's too fucking long. All right. It's not the point of my whole thing here. My whole thing is just to find out kind of what's going on, right? So let them speculate. We're going to look at the actual chart, and I will speculate. here's the deal. When has Bitcoin not had a big correction, right? Whether or not the correction is here or at 7,000, the bottom line is there's a lot of money about to move into this market. That's a fundamental fact. This market is about to break open into the mainstream. Not as a currency, but as an investment, as something to trade, right? The more Bitcoin makes new highs, and the more it's reported in the news, the more not only the average Joe, but Wall Street traders and investors are going, wow, I can actually get a much higher return over here. So this is where they're coming, right? That will drive the price higher. And whether or not there's a dip in between, I mean, we have 2 hard forks coming up. We got one coming up this week, which will probably not really affect the price. Segment 2X is coming up, and they're, I think, going to try to make themselves the one true Bitcoin. That could be interesting. I don't think they're going to succeed. And Bitcoin as it is, the reason they're keeping all these forks is because it has some serious problems, right? And people keep trying to fix the problems, and the only way they can fix the problems in their mind is to create a fork. But once they carve themselves off of the main Bitcoin, like, to me, that diminishes its value. I don't think it diminishes Bitcoin's value, but I think it diminishes the prunings, But who knows? Maybe they'll sprout. Maybe it's like gardening. All right. So, anyway, right now, not much happening. It's kind of hovering. Let's look at the 1 hour chart and see what the hell is going on. So, right now, we're in a consolidation phase. All right, that's it. Now, what am I doing? I am buying $20 of Bitcoin every day. So if it goes down, I will buy more. If it goes up, I will buy less. But I want to have some, right? Why do I want to have some? Because on the 25th, which is what, in 2 days? On the 25th, Bitcoin Gold is going to hard fork. And if you have Bitcoin, you get both, right? So now I got to spend the rest of the day figuring out how to do that. And I'll share that information with you guys, but I don't know if the Exodus wallet supports it. Where do I have to put it so that I get it, right? That's the next big question. So I'll be working on that. And let's just peek at Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin's gone way up, but Bitcoin Cash has not, right? So, whoops, I don't want the 1 hour. I want the 1 day, right? Bitcoin Cash is just sitting there, right? Do you want it? I don't want it. Why would I get it? What would I do with it, right? Particularly if less and less people want it, it's going down in value. Why would more and more people want Bitcoin Cash, right? Last I checked, it wasn't in my wallet, right? That's going to be a real issue. If it's in people's wallets, there's hope. If it's not in people's wallets, that's a problem. That's a whole new thing that's emerging. And so let's look at Dash. Dash is quiet. Good time to buy some Dash. And by the way, as I've said before, Dash is working on something they're calling Evolution, I think. And they're making a ton of improvements. And Dash pays their developers. That is a key important distinction. Because then they can pay for the best developers, and the developers get paid for the time they put in. So we, as the end user of Dash, get something that actually works. Oh, what a great idea. However, as far as I know, it is not proof of stake yet, and they're still mining and all that kind of stuff. Quick look at EOS. Still just chugging along down there. Good to know. Ethereum. Now, Ethereum, I think is really underpriced. And I've heard this, some other far more experienced people than me say, like, what's going on with Ethereum? And this is a good place to take your profits. So, for example, if you want to take some profits out of Bitcoin, pop them into Ethereum. If you have some profits somewhere else, you might want to pop them into Ethereum rather than Bitcoin, because there's room for Ethereum to move, and it does so much more than Bitcoin. It should be more valuable in many ways, and it has a team that's actually working together to improve it, not fighting with each other, right? Those are some fundamental flaws of Bitcoin, that there's a lot of fighting, but the fighting leads to promotion, leads to PR, leads to news, leads to stuff that people can like, oh, if there's a hard fork, I get some? Oh, okay, so I think Ethereum is going to rock, people. I think it's a sleeper right now, and of course I could be wrong, but I'm I'm getting some Ethereum. IOTA. Let's see what's going on with IOTA. Not much. Okay, Litecoin. What's going on with Litecoin? And by the way, when I say not much, that's really a good indication that it's time to buy, right? But we tend, the human mind, well, nothing exciting, blah, 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 right? But that's maybe where the fortunes are to be made. Litecoin has come back to a little beyond its main support here, down to this other support line. But not bad. I think Litecoin is kind of hanging tough, and it's a little less volatile than Bitcoin, but good time for some Litecoin. Neo, as I said before, I don't have any Neo. I don't know anything about it, and I should look into it. All right. OMG. Excuse me. I am really congested this morning. All right. OMG is hanging on to its support. So I think, you want to know what I think? I think all of these altcoins are waiting for Bitcoin to tank, and then they're going to move. I don't know. I think there's going to be this inverse relationship developing. So good time to keep an eye on some alts and to make sure you have some of the best ones, not the shit ones, but the ones that really actually have a good team and good potential for the future. And let's just check on Civic. Civic's hanging tough as well. And let's check on Quantum against BTC. I'm just going to get rid of this so I can see. All right, so we are down on Quantum. Seriously good time. And again, remember, that's against Bitcoin. So let's look at the Ethereum Quantum chart. That's a little bit better. And still going to get rid of the volume just so you can see it. And so Quantum had this weird boost the other day. So anyway, it's going to be fine. And it's kind of at the beginning of its whole journey through life as an awesome coin. So yeah, so that's it. Boom. Let's just look at this stuff and see what's going on. Hit and refresh. You know, it's like Bitcoin Cash is number 3. Like, why? I don't get that. Can someone explain that to me in the comments? Why Bitcoin Cash has not, like, disappeared? I mean, like, again, like, what is the point of Bitcoin Cash at this point? What can you use it for? Is it... I don't get that. See, that's where I sometimes just don't get stuff, you know? Like, I don't get that. I don't understand why Litecoin isn't, like, number 3 all the time. And why is Vertcoin, like, rocking and rolling? The thing I didn't like about Vertcoin when I checked it out was that it's, like, all their developers are volunteers. Like, how is that a good thing? Can someone explain that? Like, how is making people work for free in their best interest? Like, I'm speaking as a musician. I'm tired of working for free as a musician. I think developers are the musicians of the crypto world. Without the developers, we're screwed, right? So they should be paid. And that's what I like about Dash, right? So Quantum's down to number 12. Ethereum Classic has dropped to number 13. And on we go. So that's it for today. What I am in the process of doing, by the way, is this is week 13 of my 90-day challenge. This is day 85. I've got 5 days left. And so in the next couple of days, I'm going to kind of go back and summarize some of the stuff that I've learned. Some of the just classic newbie mistakes I made. Some of the just the stuff that if you knew that, if you had it's early. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that I'm going to do kind of a little retrospective this week and summarize for you so you don't have to go back and watch all, 85 videos. So I'm just going to visit week 1, kind of touch base with where I was, what I was thinking, then week 2, then week 3, and just kind of do it week by week and do a very concise kind of little mini documentary for you. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I'm going to start working on that this week and see if it's something that I can offer that's useful to you. Some kind of a newbie trading guide or something that is useful and that I could have benefited from if I had it, right? Not that I would have read it or watched it or experienced it, but it's the best I can do, And for me, the main thing is how to get your experience with Ponzi schemes out of your system fast. And that's really maybe what it should be called. But speaking of Ponzi schemes, there is one that is so outrageously successful. It's called BitConnect. And I actually bought $100 worth of BitConnect before I jumped into all the other Ponzi schemes. So I'm going to go back and check on that and see what the hell happened to it and see if I can get any money out of BitConnect before they crash. And when they do crash, that could set the market back a little bit or not. We don't know, right? There's so much we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen when and if the US dollar collapses, or when and if the world economy tanks, when and if the stock market bubble pops or the real estate bubble pops, and we have bubbles in every country in some shape or form, and we have 0 or very low % interest rates, which have just been kind of keeping things moving. But what happens when that changes? There's a lot going on. So this is your window into a transformation of thought and financial awareness and understanding. So that's it for today. Whew, I'm tired. I'm just tired, people. I want to go back to bed. I think I might. So anyway, it is October 23rd. This is day 85 of my 90-day challenge. We're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon. And a number of you have asked me if I'm going to continue, and we'll see. What I do at the end of my 90-day challenges is sometimes I take a break and then I kind of sit and get quiet and figure out what's the next challenge. But I don't know. I'm so addicted to cryptos that I can't stop. I mean, it was really hard for me yesterday not to sneak out of bed and do the morning cryptos on my day off, right? But I've got to have a day off because I find that really helps a lot. So anyway, I love you guys. I really appreciate your comments and your guidance. And some of you have very gently poked some well-intentioned fun at me, and I love that too. And let's rock and roll. Welcome to the new subscribers. And if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe and give me that thumbs up and do the bell thing and leave a comment. Let me know what you're doing. I'd love to learn more about you guys and find out what you want to learn more of. What are your questions? Where are the areas of expertise that I could actually help you or at least guide you to somebody who knows more than me? I think that's really kind of my place here, is the bridge between the techno guys and the people who are coming in and going like, oh my, like, how do I make sense of this? There's so much information. So, and hopefully I can provide a little humor, a little lightness, a little insight into the human mind, and a little music. And if you like music, check out my music. I'm sticking my Bitcoin Freedom song at the end of each of these videos, so you can check those out as well. And I think that's it for today. And happy Monday, rock and roll, long live Bitcoin, long live cryptos. Peace, grooviness, over and out. Start the music now.